Now again, maybe Oflex will help me once in a while, but like I said to you earlier on, I'm not a Photoshop guy, so I really don't understand a lot of what is going on. My style in photography is just over the years. I've just focused on the little that I know, and I've made the best out of it. So you can see something here called the basic FSPM. So this is basic frequency separation. PM stands for Prince Mason because he sold his plugins. This is advanced frequency separation, Prince Mason. So do I know how to get to this point? No. All I know how to do is click on it and use it. Do you understand? So I don't know how to create that. But if you've attended any of his workshops, I'm sure he sells this, and many other people sell this frequency separation thing for you. Do you necessarily need to use frequency separation to do your skin work? Not necessarily. Sometimes I literally just use healing brush. This is healing brush here, and mixer brush. I literally just use healing brush and mixer brush. And I'll tell you why. Because when you master how to work with soft light, and you have somebody like this with really good skin, and you're shooting at a wide aperture, there is a tendency that your skin will appear soft. And if you have somebody who doesn't have a lot of blemishes, you really do not need to do a lot of work. You understand? I am not a retoucher, so I am not under any pressure to retouch this image looking like Prince Meeting. That's not my goal. I work with real people. I don't work with models. I work with human beings. You understand? Not that models are not human beings, but you get what I mean. I work with day-to-day people, and I want you to be able to see their images on my page, see them in real life, and be like, okay, you're the same person that I saw on Big H page. I don't want to do anything too dramatic. Do you understand? I don't want to make them look unrealistic. I hate plastic images. You would see that now. And some of you might be disappointed at this point, because really my approach is very, 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 very minimal. I'd rather spend time on lighting than on retouching. You understand? So first things first, this is the image that that I have here. There's somebody who is confusing me with these yellow things. Is really getting to me. Can you please sort that out? First things first, you want to use your, some people would say create another layer first. You understand? I don't do that, but I think that seems to be the right thing to do when you're working with Photoshop. So based on that, I would just do that. But I tend to just work on the background, and I would use my healing brush and just take out some of these blemishes that you can see here. So again, let me start afresh. This is healing brush. I will go to spot healing, the very first tool there, and then I would just do this. Can the admin help me take these guys out, because it's really frustrating me? Can you please clean out these yellow things that are showing? I don't know who is responsible for that.
Okay, I'm trying to get that out.
Okay. So I can take all of this out. These are what do you call it? Just little spots that I like to just remove. And then the laugh lines. If I see a birthmark, I would not touch the birthmark. If I see a scar, I would not touch the scar. I would rather just call the client and ask them if they're okay with their scars, because these scars carry different meanings to different people. So you don't want to be removing their scar for them. You understand? But what I would remove are blemishes, pimples, little spots. I would not remove birthmarks. I would not remove scars without their um, permission. But yeah, I feel like I'm done. Oh well, almost done with removing the blemishes. Um, yeah, I'm just working on all of that. I'm not going to be very anal with my with. I'm not going to be absolutely thorough. Um, I'm just going to do the little that I know how to do. So now that I've done this, I would come back to layer and flatten the image so that I can now um, play the plugin, um, either advanced or basic. They pretty much do the same thing. I see the guys in the office, they will change this radius to 12. Don't ask me what it does. I don't know. Again, I've already given you a disclaimer that I don't know how to do these things. I just do the one I know how to do. Whether you want to believe me or not, this is how I work. Sometimes I'm too lazy. I would not change the radius to 12. I will leave it at 14. Now, if you want to understand retouching, I would advise you to follow a retoucher. Fabulous Benji is a retoucher. Prince Mason is a retoucher. David Martins, I think he retouches. Sheun or Derinde also retouches. There are many of them who are fantastic with retouching. You can also watch YouTube. But you are here because you want to see what Big H does, and Big H is telling you that this is what he does. There is no hidden agenda to anything that I am currently showing you. But there are some things that I would show you because you can also do some color work in Photoshop. So once I put the radius on 12 or 14, it starts to play, and then you have this knob here deals with texture, and then this one here deals with color. That's it. Texture and color. Yes, that's
skin tone.
Yes, color.
skin tone. Yes. So texture, you want to be on the clone stamp, and there is really not much I'm going to do on the texture because again, like I said, she has really good skin, and we've already removed noticeable blemishes with the healing brush. But I can identify some of those little ones, and then you want to put your left hand on the option, select something close to a skin tone close blemish, and just dab like that. And then if you're watching, you can see what is doing. I hate the fact that this takes a lot of time, so I don't even bother with it, to be very honest with you. By the time you people understand the secret to photography, trust me, you will not spend so many number of hours doing all these things. By the time you understand that clients are not paying attention to these things, you will understand that you don't. I remember somebody came to a class and was bragging on how they spent 16 hours editing one picture. I don't understand how you want to brag about spending more than half a editing one picture. You understand? As you see me like this, I'm just clicking because I'm teaching you. For me, I've already finished this part. Like to me, as I am like this, I'm done with this. I'm just trying to prolong the process, if you get what I mean. But yeah, what this does is you're just identifying and just dabbing and just trying to heal those places and then clean up. And then the next thing that I would do is to come to the color knob here, go to the mixer brush, okay? And now you have to be very, very careful with the mixer brush. Some people would leave their flow on 100 or 90 something, you understand? Sometimes we would leave it at 45, depending on how much you want to do. Or you can even take it to 70 or 80 and still reduce the opacity afterwards. So I have a little understanding on makeup, so I know how to use my mixer brush. And I know that this area is the shadow area for makeup artists. This area is the highlight area, you understand? And then this is the lower shadow. So what I tend to do is I can just walk from here. So you drag from here to. So what this does is that it balances the skin tone for you, you understand? So you drag from here. So it's able to take the color from here and just fill it here like that. Yes. And then I do the same thing with this blush. We will call it blush, or this shadow area, whether you want to drag from here all the way down, if you can see the noticeable difference. And then when I come to the highlight, I want to take the highlight all the way here. Personal preference, that's not a rule. Do you understand? So, because most of the time, this is exactly what the makeup artist has done anyways. But because of maybe sweat and, movement, you're unable to appreciate those highlights. Those highlights are important. I don't like to see retouchers remove all the hard work of the makeup artist. Most retouchers are pretty much just doing the same thing. And then when you look at the image, you're unable to appreciate the work that the makeup artist has done. So what I'm doing now is just literally just balancing the skin my mixer brush. I am not going to touch this highlight, and this highlight has come from two things. Sweating here, it's sweating a lot here, and my light is falling on that. You understand? You could cover it up with your mixer brush, take from this shadow and just keep dragging. Do you understand, from here, and see we've covered it? But to me, to be honest, I'm not going to do that. I'm not a fan of that. You understand? So I'm just going to leave those highlights there because I personally feel like it adds character to the image. But if you want to clean it up, that's entirely up to you. In photography, it's called highlights. Other people would call it hotspot. You understand? There are videos on how to cover up hotspots. I don't think that this hotspot is within what I would describe as a bad hotspot. So I'm just going to leave it there because I think that this highlight over here is also balancing this one. So I can maybe just soften it if I want to, you get, but I'm not going to completely take it off. But feel free to do as you please. Yes. So again, I'm still working with my mixer brush. I'm just trying to balance the skin tones. If I think I'm done, again, when you're working with the nose, you will see that the makeup artist will apply a shadow area here and some highlight at the top of the nose. So you want to pay attention to that as well. And I could do the same thing for her skin. I really just want to balance everything out, even out the tones. Sometimes when you're working on skin, you're going to be seeing some little patches. Again, to me, I think I'm okay, but I'm just going to show you quick that I use. When I'm working with a skin that is quite difficult, I would leave my brush on mixer. Pay attention to this. I will leave my brush on the mixer brush and I would go straight to the texture layer. Now, what this does is that it applies an extra softness to the image. So I'm on the texture layer, but I'm using the um, I'm using the mixer brush. Yes. So I'm just applying some more softness to the skin. I forgot to pay attention to this, so I'm just going to come back to the to this and just balance this guy out. Yes. Again, I'm just going to try and correct few mistakes. And if I think it's too much, I will drop the opacity on either of those layers. Yes, and then it's starting to look like what I want it to look. For me, the skin is done. It's just personal preference. I don't do too much to my skin. This is what I do to my skin. Every time you look at my work in on Instagram, this is everything that I do. Now, if I consider this image to be fine art and I feel like I want to add any extra, I could take it extra. But for me, this is good to go. I can deliver this image like this to the client. But that when I'm done here, I can do Shift Option Command E to create a layer on top of the Photoshop layer. So Shift Option Command E, and that creates that extra layer, saying that I'm done with my frequency separation, and then I can start working on any other thing that I want to do.